Welcome back, dear students. After having done the create, the insert, and the select command, that is part of the select command, in this short video, we are going to look at the update and the delete commands. The delete statement removes selected rows of data from a single table. It uses the from clause to specify the target table containing the rows. The where clause specify which row of the table are to be deleted. So those are the two clauses we use in the delete command. The from to specify the table we are to use, and the where to specify the rows to be deleted. The syntax for the delete command is given below. So we have delete from, we precise the table name, then where we specify the condition that we enable the row to be identified, the row to be deleted to be identified. So that's what we have. Now, you need to note something. Without the where clause, all the records will be deleted. So if you just say delete from, you put a table name, the semicolon at the end, then all the different records of that table will be deleted. But note, the table will still exist. Only the rows are going to be deleted because the delete statement is used here to delete records of a table and not the entire table. We can still have a record, a relation that is a table with no records inside. The condition can be specified in many ways, just like in the select command, that is where there are a lot of ways you can precise the condition, like we saw in the select command. When it comes to the update statement modifies the value of one or more columns in selected rows of a single table. The target table to be updated is named in the statement. This command uses the clauses where, which select the rows of the table to be modified, set, which specify which columns are to be updated and provide the new value for them. The syntax for the update command is, so we have update table name, set, what are we setting, that what are we changing. You precise the column name and you precise the expression. Now in the where clause now you are specifying the different records which are to be modified. So that's how the syntax for the update command is. Note, the expression of the set is if more columns are included is, so this is the case where I have only one column to change. But if there are more of them, then column 1 equals to expression 1, column 2, comma, column 2 equals to expression 2, and so on. And also, the where clause is optional, just like in the delete command. And if omitted, all the records of the table will be updated as the set clause specified. Let us go to our WAM server in MySQL and try to look at how these two different commands work. Okay, when we come to our database we created as the SQL test, these are the different tables we have: department, employee, high school, and student. If I open, for example, a table student, this is the example we use when we're working on the select command. If I take high school, this is what we use when we're performing the insert. So now I am going to perform an update for you guys to see. Let me say I want to perform an update that will change the class of those that are in lower seat to upper seat. How will that be done? I come to my SQL. Then what will I have? Update. What am I updating? I'm updating the table high school. What am I changing? I set the class to be equals to USS. That's what I'm having. So first of all, which table are you updating? This is the table I precise here. Now in that table, which column are you changing? This is the column here. And now on that column, you are changing the values to what value? This is what I specify here. And now what are the records that are to be changed under those columns? That is where you now precise where. So I'm changing the class to USS for those whose class was lower seat, and that is all. So if I run this query now, you see one row affected. So when I come back now to high school, realize that now all of them they are in USS because Bele Agnes was in lower seat. But since I perform my update command, the class is now USS. And that is all. If, for example, we saw that the student that was in lower C, that is the student with matricule USSS1 was actually a repeater, and we need to change that. What do? We go to our SQL. What do we have? Update. Which table am I updating? The table high school. What am I changing? I am changing repeater to what? To yes. And who am I changing? Where matricule is equals to USS1. So when you do this now and you run, it will change the state of a particular, you see one row affected, and it will change that state to the value we have, which is now is now going to be yes. So that what we have, that is the query. Now you need to know that you can write an update command, an update statement, and it affects no record because what you precise in your where clause does not match with any of this. Let us look at it. For example, if I want to precise that all those who in where the sex is male, then their last name should be deleted. Look at what we are going to have. I come on SQL and I say update high school, set last name equals to null, where sex is equals to m. If I run this, you see that my query has no error, but 0 holes has been affected. Why? Because among the records I have in the table high school, there is no record having sex to be M. Whereas if I put this to F, let me copy this. Okay, if I copy this. Now, when you come back to the structure of the table, high school, you see that Agnes has a last name. Now, if I write back the query and I precise for those whose sex is F, you see that it's going to change. So if I precise this back and I set this now to F, and please, one high thing I call is always good to divide the different clauses so that it will enable you to identify the different errors. So when I run this now, you see that 2 holes has been affected. Let us look at it. If I open high school, you see now that their last name is null, as you can see. That's why we say 2 holes has been affected. That's what we have. So that is all about the select command. Sorry, the update command. When it comes now to the delete command, I will like us to use this particular one. First of all, I am going to write a query that is going to delete all the students doing physics. As you see, I have 1, 2, 3 students doing physics. And we start the syntax for a delete is delete from which table? From the table student, where subject supposed to be, I think, is department, where department is equals to physics. That is, I'm deleting all the records under which department is physics. When I run this, that it is sending me a warning because important information are going to be removed from the database. And if I select and if I choose yes, it's going to perform the change. Now we have 3 records deleted. So when you come to student now, we realize that there is nobody doing physics again. That is what we have. And now you can still decide that you want to delete all those students having a GPA less than 3. And in that case, what do we have there, students? I have delete from student where GPA is less than 3, and that is all. So it's going to delete all those students having a GPA less than 3. So if I come back to student, you realize that all the students that are left are only those having a GPA above 3. That is Nguma, Anita, Mbele, Agnes, and Batogo, Ivan. That is what we have, dear students. So that is how the delete and the update command are being used. The update command used to modify a particular field value for specific holes which are specified in the field in the where clause, and the delete command is used to delete certain records still based on the criteria we have in the where clause. I hope you enjoyed the video. Do not forget to like, to subscribe, and to share for our community to grow. In the next video, we are going to look at the alter command. And before we move there, there's an important note I would like you to know. Unlike the select statement, which can operate on multiple tables, it is true the example we saw was only on single tables. The one on multiple tables will be seen and will be done ahead. The insert, delete, and update statement work only on a single table at a time. The search condition used in the delete and update statements has the same form as the search condition for the select statement. I think this one was going to explain. Wait, let us go and see how we can update more than a single column at a time. Let us go back to our MySQL. So if I come here, let me say for those students doing chemistry, I will set enroll to 1 and I will increase their GPA by 3.2 because it is also important for you to see how a particular value can be incremented. So let us look at it. So I'm going to say update student set is enrolled to 1, comma GPA to be equals to GPA plus 0.5, where department is equals to chemistry. Now we have, let me get this first of all. Let us look at the table. So that those doing chemistry, I have 3.5, I have 3.1, and whole here is 0, 0, and I want to put this and whole to 1 and increase this one by, let's say, by 0.4, so that this will be 3.9 and this will be 3.6. So it's going to do that for Anita and Agnes. So let us look at it. So if I run, they say error. You have an error in your SQL syntax. Check the manner that corresponds to my SQL where department is equals to chemistry. Error. This level student is not supposed to be there. So if I run this now, 2 rows affected, and let us go and let us look at it. You see that chemistry from Buma Anita is now 3.6 and that of Mbele Agnes is now 4 because it has been incremented by 3.5 and his enroll has changed. So update can be used to, we can use the update command to change the values of multiple columns at the same time. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Do not forget to like, to subscribe, and to share for our community to grow. And see you in the next video.